Hi everybody. Sometimes we write dynamic SQL in our code. We write string like this one and let the code run them. Now these kind of strings has a lot of vulnerabilities in them. They are susceptible to syntax error, they are susceptible to stupid mistakes, to getting the names wrong. Also you cannot cross-reference and find which columns and which tables are used in this select statement. And the worst of all, it's susceptible to SQL injection. This kind of word statement is very susceptible to SQL injection. But so far, this was our only option. So if you wanted to show the number of customers per city in a specific country, we had to do this. Let's run this and see that it works. Great. So now we want to change the way you write these kind of SQLs. So introducing EasySql. EasySql is a few lines of code that you add to your existing application. You can also add it to old migrations. And it allows you to write the SQLs, instead of as a string, as C#, standard compliant C#. And that C# will automatically generate the correct and safe SQL for you. Let me show you how to use it. I'm going to go to Getting Started with EasySql. I'm going to copy these two using statements and paste them in my code. Now my query here uses the customers table, so let's define it. Var C, new models customers. Great. Now let's start writing the replacement SQL. I'm going to say select customer city. You see how I get IntelliSense? Count and from customer where, and I can use the syntax of where that we're used to everywhere. So I can say country is equal to p country, okay, instead of the parameters that the original SQL received. And eventually I can say group by city. So as I was writing it, I was getting IntelliSense, I was getting syntax checking, I was making many errors, but the tool was fixing them for me. Okay, so I get all the benefit of C# and all the flexibility of SQL. Let's run this query and see what comes out. And it works exactly the same. Let's compare the changes. So on the left we can see the original statement with the string in it, and on the right we can see the changes we needed to do to implement or to use the new EasySql classes. So these EasySql classes make it a lot easier for you to write SQL statements with making less mistake, with getting cross-reference, with getting a safer SQL, making it easier even to transition from one SQL type to another, and we highly recommend that you use them. Now let me go and show you how we write just new SQLs and how we even test our SQLs. So change our code. I want to do now is, or one of the things that we wanted to make sure is that you have an experience that is similar to the one that you have in any SQL editor, which means I want to just run it and see the results. Let me show you. So let's head over to the program, which is the entry point of our code, and let's say that we want to write a piece of code that will show me the number of orders of customers in a city and the country. Okay, so let's go ahead and write it. I'm going to write here public static void MySQL test, and I'm going to call it after the init and return. Okay, so this will just run this method and finish my code. And I want to write a select that will show me the number of orders per city for a specific country. Great, so let's do that. I'm going to go over to the EasySql document and copy the using statements. Paste them here, that's great. And now let's start testing our SQL. So we're going to use the countries table, the customers table, sorry, models.customers, and we would like to do select c.city. And you know what? When I write code, I usually like to test it first. So I want to be able to test my SQL without going to any external tool. So to do that, we can just say test on, and give it the database we want to test it on. Shared.datasources.northwind. Okay? And when we do that and run our code, it will actually open in the browser the select statements that it generated and the result. So we can very easily get a WYSIWYG experience when we are writing, running, and seeing the results. So let's continue. I want to get select city and count from customers, inner join to orders. So let's go ahead and add orders. Orders, where orders.customer ID is equal to c.customer ID. Note that I'm using the standard syntax we use all across our code. Customer ID is equal to customer ID. You see IntelliSense, syntax checking, all of that just work for me. And here I can say where customers dot country is equal to USA. Great, so I have my query. It will get tested with the Northwind code. Let's run this. And now you see that I have a syntax error. It actually tells me that I forgot to add the group by statement. So I'm going to say, great, let's do that. So in my code, I will say dot group by c city. And let's run it again. And yay, I get the results. You can see that I have the SQL statement that it generated, the results over here, making it all very easy. And you could see that as I was writing this SQL, I was making syntax error, I was making stupid errors, and C# saved me. C# made sure that everything that they'll do is correct and syntactically viable. We invite you to start using this. We think this will be a great improvement to the SQLs that you write. Of course, this is still a new project that we're working on, so it's probably going to change and improve, and we want your feedback. So please let us know if you run into any trouble, if you have any ideas, if you have any suggestions, bugs, SQLs that you couldn't express with it, or any other related comments. Just go to our project GitHub repo, open an issue, and let us know. We will make sure that we fix it and improve it and provide feedback, and all of us as a community can enjoy a better experience in writing SQL. I hope you enjoyed this. Cheers!